What's that old line from the song? You don't know what you got till it's gone. Well, how we have missed a returning champion. You know, he ran off, he became the mayor of Melbourne, then he won an election while the world was having a look at what was happening with Donald Trump. He returns as the Lord Mayor of Melbourne. Nicholas Rees is here. Congratulations, my friend, and welcome home. And more than happy to greet him is none other than Matt Canavan, of course, sitting by in our nation's capital. Nicholas, congratulations, mate. What a phenomenal achievement. You had them all against you and you swiped them all.
Thank you very much, Paul Murray. I can't tell you how many times when I was out on the hustings, people would come up to me and say, I've been watching you for years on the Paul Murray program. We love Paul and we love you and we're going to be voting for you. So there you have it. You are my Joe Rogan, mate. Can't thank you enough.
That's very kind. Matt, I hope you feel the same. I'm happy to give you the big boy bump here. Well done. All right, now, by the way, you're back. We've been nice. We've done the cuddles. Back to normal now, okay? But remember, this bloke, Labor didn't even send preferences his way, so there's a new Nicholas Rees sitting in front of us here. Let's all find out together. Latest polls show Prime Minister, government, world of trouble. But more importantly, Matt, it shows that nothing is changing the subject. And surprise, surprise, the attempt when it comes to university fees doesn't move the needle. I wouldn't imagine that some very small buggerising around inquiry into cash is going to do the same either. Why do you think it's stuck where it's stuck for the government?
Well, can I first welcome Nicholas back too? I've missed you, mate. It's great to have you back. I was hoping he was coming back just to celebrate Donald Trump's re-election on his own, but
yes.
That's a great achievement from Nick down there in Melbourne too. Well, look, I think the issue, Paul, is that the government has not really got a credible, coherent economic plan or agenda for the country. I don't think any amount of cash splashes, debt write-offs, or social media youth bans are going to resuscitate this government. People understand that there is a serious crisis in our nation right now. Our living standards have fallen by more than any other country in the world since the end of COVID. They're down about 8%, our real disposable income levels are down about 8%. They've grown in the US while ours have been falling. And people get that. And so when you've got serious problems in front of you, there's a demand, a hunger for serious solutions. And all of these trinkets and cheap sales tricks, like it's like a closing down sale, you know, there's another set of steak knives for you. It's just not going to cut it with people. And so I think if the government has a survival instinct in them, they'll use the Christmas break to actually come up with a proper plan, not just more cash handouts.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, it's this thing. Again, you focused on your own future, but now let's start to turn our attention to the old team. Why is it just not moving for them? Because it's not like there's not parts of the media that aren't willing to move on. You know, every sort of let's change the subject is given the royal treatment. But I think a little bit like in the United States, it doesn't matter what the message is out of Canberra, the reality of people's lives, you can't spin it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a very challenging time to be an incumbent political party in government. You look what happened in the UK elections, you look what's just happened in the US, even local government elections here in Victoria saw a huge turnover. Like, I had a very, very hard-fought victory, I've got to tell you, to hang on. So it's a really hard time to be in government. I think that's had a lot to do with inflation and the impact that's having on cost of living and people's sense of how they're going in life. And again, that's not confined to Australia. It's the same story most of the advanced world. I do think Albanese's got quite a few things going from there. And, you know, if I was Matt Canavan, I wouldn't be complacent. He sounded pretty complacent to me, like
he's not measuring anything.
Coast to victory or something. But Albanese's a pretty wily political operator. He's a pretty tough campaigner. And he's got plenty of things to sell, Matt. I mean, let's not forget, he has halved inflation since coming to office, over 1 million jobs generated. He's out there with his new slogan, Building Australia's Future, which obviously goes to his track record in infrastructure. I think the election's going to be pretty tight, pretty hard fought.
Well, it wasn't.
But I wouldn't be complacent like Matt's been.
Matt wasn't putting the cue in the rack and saying, you know, this game's over. We're talking about the polls 6 and a bit months out from an election, Matt.